Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media. We have just finished a session on the Breakbulk Project Market Outlook, and I have with me Amanda Duhon from Energy Industries Council. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you for having me.
So great to see you. So tell me, are we optimistic or pessimistic? You only get one word.
Optimistic.
Okay, I love that. So give me some of the high points that you shared with the audience.
Yeah, so looking at project announcements over the last 3 years, first of all, we've seen a significant increase in the number of new project announcements, and that's both on the OPEX and CAPEX side. Over 50% are still immature hydrocarbons.
Interesting.
And if we look at the CAPEX spend, it's the vast majority. But closing in quickly are the renewables and energy transition technologies, and these projects have a lower CAPEX but are providing for longer term opportunities. So I think, I'm optimistic.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, and I know everyone here on the show floor is happy to hear that as well. So tell me more about the energy transition. What does that really look like in terms of projects? You just mentioned that the majority of investment is still in more traditional fossil fuel projects. So what are we looking at?
Well, energy consumption is going to double from what it is today to 2040. And so it's not just turning off the lights for mature hydrocarbons and bringing in renewables. It's actually the mature hydrocarbons are going to play an enabler role to get us to 2040 to ensure that we have the resources that we need. But more and more, these projects are going to be adopting technologies such as CCUS and hydrogen to address the carbon footprint, and then we'll see more and more renewables being developed as well. So it really is a transformation of our industry in the way that we do things from an oil and gas perspective, but also bringing in those new technologies to be part of the energy mix.
So do you see the traditional oil and gas companies evolving with this transition?
Well, it depends. There's some independent oil companies who are focused on the molecule itself, and they're going to stick to what it is that they know, but they're going to adopt technologies, again, such as hydrogen and CCUS to address their carbon footprint. Whilst you have other companies that are becoming fully integrated and doing all of the above, oil and gas, renewables. So, it really is a changing environment and changing industry.
Right, and then I assume there are brand new companies coming into the market for some of these newer types of energy projects.
Indeed, and there's a lot of international trade investment that's going to happen around bringing specific technologies to market.
All right, when you compare the different regions, who would you say is ahead on the energy transition?
I'm not going to say that any one region is ahead because, location is everything when it comes to energy projects, regardless of the technology that you're talking about. But I would say that the U.S. is going to be a strong player in the CCUS and hydrogen space, and I think this is quite positive in the fact that the U.S. has just announced the Inflation Reduction Act. We have the 45Q tax credit, so this will actually push companies to invest in this more. Other regions, I would say the UK, Australia, the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. We hear a lot about the Netherlands. So let's look back at maybe the U.S. versus Latin America. What opportunities do you see in those two markets? And Canada, of course.
Well, in Latin America, we're seeing more and more E&P opportunities. So that will be specifically in Brazil and Guyana.
Can you tell me what E&P is?
Exploration and production.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
All right.
So in the mature hydrocarbon space, in Brazil, you have the pre-salts.
Yes.
And so there's going to be required a significant number of FPSOs. And in Trinidad, again, mature hydrocarbons, and Guyana with the ExxonMobil project there. At the same time, you have countries like Chile and Brazil that are looking at green hydrogen at the same time. So from a Latin American standpoint, I think those are where the key opportunities are. And I would say in North America, the US.
Okay, and what about Canada? They've been so focused, at least from an external perspective, on oil sands projects there. How are they transitioning into green energy?
What's interesting is even the oil sands projects are looking into energy transition in the way that the geology is different there. So oil sands make a lot of sense, but they're also looking at energy transition technologies to continue to be in that space, but do it responsibly.
Interesting. Well, you have given us a lot of projects to consider, a lot of good information as far as the outlook goes, and I would say yes, we all have a reason to be optimistic.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.